What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? It has been a long time coming. I am finally back with the, I don't know, is weekly show even appropriate to say anymore? News show, whatever the fuck you want to call this program. I need to actually come up with a new, like an actual name for this damn thing. I've been saying that since I've been doing this show, but whatever. If you've noticed, there's been a big gap since the last episode. The reason for that, I've been going through some shit. Just personal depression kind of stuff. My grandmother passed away. I was kind of getting back into it. I thought I was going to do this show on Sunday. Saturday was the funeral. Sunday came around when I was supposed to bring the show back. Funeral hit me a little harder than I thought, so here it is Tuesday, and we're finally sitting down and doing this. So, in general, what I'm saying is, thank you guys so much for your patience. If you enjoy this program or whatever, I apologize I took so much time off. It's just like I said, I've been going through some shit as of late. And every time I think I'm getting past it, either I forget, I kind of blank out and forget to take my anxiety meds for a few days, or I forget this or that. It's a whole thing. But yeah, shit's been going on. Either way. We're back. I'm going to have kind of a light show this week. Only a couple articles. It's going to be pretty video heavy. We're going to be checking out some trailers that I found interesting. Mixed with about 13 minutes gameplay for a interesting action game, I suppose. If there's any article or anything from the past couple weeks that I maybe would have missed that you guys want to actually see me give my takes on, as always, hit me up in the comments. And I will, send me links to the comments, send them to me on Twitter or something like that, and I'll take a look at those in the future, or at least, probably next Sunday when I plan on doing the show again. So, either way, first article here, Sunset Overdrive is now owned by PlayStation. Sony confirms, article Sammy Barker, this is Push Square. As previously expected, Sony now owns the Sunset Overdrive brand. Despite the game first launching it as an Xbox One exclusive, Insomniac Games famously retained the rights to the intellectual property. PlayStation has since purchased the Marvel Spider-Man and Ratchet & Clank developer, but Worldwide Studios chairman Sean Layden said he'd need to turn over the files for the full story. Speaking with Japanese publication Inside Games, the ever-affable Shuhei Yoshida has confirmed that the Japanese giant does now own the Microsoft-published title. And I quote, SIE holds the rights to past Insomniac Games works, he admitted, so what are the chances of a port then? I am looking forward to future titles, end quote. It doesn't sound like Sony has much interest in reviving the Sunset Overdrive franchise, which makes sense given its poor commercial performance compared to the developers' compared to the developer's PlayStation exclusive output. There we go. We'd probably play a port if it ever arrived on PlayStation 4, but there are probably so many legal hurdles in the way that it's just not worth the effort. Marvel Spider-Man 2, please. No, I agree with Marvel Spider-Man 2 over Sunset Overdrive. As much as I love Sunset Overdrive, the game was amazing. Amazing for a launch title, too. Although I would love to see that as kind of like a really fun, like, thumb in the eye. Like, hey, Microsoft, here's another PlayStation 5 launch title. We ported Sunset Overdrive. That'd be really funny to me. But Sunset Overdrive was super fun. It baited a sequel. Microsoft never did anything with it. Again, I think that game just had launch title so firmly attached to it that the game, I don't think, got the credit it deserved for being as fun as it was. So sadly, they're probably right. We probably won't see a port, if anything. In all honesty, I just want to see a sequel. Insomniac, pitch a sequel. Maybe Sony will agree to release that. Who the hell knows? But either way, I just kind of wanted to touch on this because Samori Roden, there we go, a good friend of mine on Twitter sent me this, and I'm like, oh, hell yes, this would be a fun way to kind of lead into the actual serious topic of today, Microsoft versus PlayStation. God damn, I wanted that to seem like a smoother transition, but son of a bitch, it's so fucking hot in this room, I had to get up and leave the room for about 5 minutes. Moving on, like I said, to our main topic here. More Microsoft versus PlayStation kind of stuff, because really, during my hiatus, this is about the one thing that I've actually kind of stayed keyed into. It is the Microsoft and PlayStation sort of feud that's been going on. And recently I saw this article on GameSpot, and I kind of agree with this. Microsoft kind of doesn't care if you buy an Xbox Series X. I saw it on Twitter, and the question was, do they even care? Do they even want you to buy this? This is Michael Hyam. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I have no idea. Let's see. Xbox strategy relies on services and subscriptions across multiple devices. Xbox Series X is just another means to get you there. No, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, I think they're becoming really, from everything that we're seeing, they're becoming more of a subscription service than they are an actual than they are an actual publisher / console provider, provider, designer, I don't know. And I'm seeing people on Twitter going, "Oh no, this is great. Xbox is playing a totally different sport," and like, we're seeing how this is working for Google right now. Stadia is just a gigantic shit show. I mean, let's be entirely honest. I mean, Microsoft at least has some defense here because they do have physical consoles that run your freaking games for you, so you don't have to always worry about your internet connection and everything. Because again, I still remember everyone's like, "Oh no, Stadia is going to work wonderfully." No, you don't even need any massive internet speeds or anything like that. And then everything I've seen, yeah, you need good internet speeds, because if you don't, it looks like shit. Stadia was just like gigantic, massive shit show, and I still don't get how developers are making their money back on stuff like Stadia or these streaming services. I do not see how developers are making their money back of all the time and effort that they went into making the freaking game. I mean, and hell, I also see people going, "Oh, this subscription service is a great idea." The other issue with it is, yeah, maybe it could work, but then you end up with basically Sony having their service and Microsoft having their service, and everyone's doing their own subscription-based service. Now I'm going to have a subscription to all these different outlets. And hell, what's even to keep larger developers from making their own service? Like Ubisoft. Well, we're not even, because if everyone's just doing a subscription or this sort of subscription streaming service where you play on any platform, because again, that's what Microsoft's doing with this whole xCloud shit. You can play your games on your phone, and you can play your games on your laptop, and you can play your games here. Well, you know what? Ubisoft, we're big enough, even though Ubisoft is going through their own internal company issues, especially with like Ashraf getting ousted for some pretty legitimate reasons from the Assassin's Creed Valhalla team. It's a weird decision to be going towards this streaming service for Microsoft, because I'm sorry, I'm like I said, I'm going through fucking heat stroke in here, so if I'm bouncing around my points, I'm not trying to. What I'm saying is, you've seen how people have freaked out when, "Oh my gosh, this game's an exclusive to the Epic Game Store. Oh, but I can't buy it on Steam," or and they get really pissed off about that shit. Yeah, you're going to see more of this stuff, because if Microsoft, because again, it's just like Netflix versus Hulu versus Amazon Prime. You have to have all three of these to start watching all these shows, because people are making deals with the specific streaming services. Then you also have the HBO streaming service. You have this streaming service. This is what video games are going to become. And again, what are the prices for these services? Because again, these developers have to make their money back to develop these freaking games. Everybody, I see so many issues with this. And again, it's the, and I'm seeing, because I've been seeing people comment to this article on Twitter, and it's, Microsoft's playing a different game. Microsoft's doing this new thing. Console sales aren't raising up. They lose money on consoles. Yeah, but you get a player base. And also providing this console with this better hardware then helps you sell your studios and sell your games, so you get, again, so Sony continues to make money that way. You have to spend a little bit of money and lose a little bit on the console to make it back on selling your platforms. Or not platforms, to sell your actual individual development teams who are releasing these games, i.e., as we were talking about in the last article, people like Insomniac releasing Spider-Man. People, I can't remember the studio who made, was it Sony Bend who made the God of War with Why can't I remember the actual studio that was behind God of War? But, you got God of War. You've got Days Gone. You've got Horizon Zero Dawn and Guerrilla. You've got all of these great games coming from all these individual studios. And that's why, that's the concept of exclusives on their platform. Again, it's like I said, you lose money on the platform, but you gain money in the long run, because now that people have bought into the platform, they're now going to buy your exclusives and buy the games from your development studios. That's how it works. Microsoft is kind of cutting out you don't need to buy our gaming console. In fact, you can just have the subscription service and you don't need to buy your games. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding how Game Pass works, because I've still not seen a fully... I've not seen a really great explanation of what the hell it does, because as far as I can see, Game Pass is a service where you can play these games for free as long as we say you can play them. Well, for free, for the subscription. To me, it's overly confusing when it's just give me a console, let me buy my game, and play it. And I know I'm jumping around. I'm trying to make sense of this. Because it's like I said, is there a problem with the current, I don't want to say the current environment. Is the current idea of releasing these consoles every couple of years, is it perfect? No. Is it better than the alternative at the moment? Yes. This is just like, because I always bring up this article. Oddly enough, I think it was a GameSpot article when VR was starting to come out and be a big thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, VR is the next big thing in gaming. VR is the next big thing in gaming. VR is the next big thing in gaming." And I have to be honest, it stuck around a little longer than I thought. But still, at the time, at the moment, VR is a fucking gimmick. That's what it is. It's not some massive thing that's completely replacing me sitting down looking at my screen with a controller. It's not replacing that. It is a long ass way from doing it. I mean, it's like the GameSpot article said. Is it the future? Yes. Is the future now? No. And that's exactly right. And that's exactly what I think with this whole streaming thing. Maybe it's possible down the road, but I don't see how you're going to make money moving strictly and trying to do this strictly with a streaming service. I don't think you make your money back doing that, as opposed to the current idea of what Sony's doing, especially even in the next article we're going to take a look, because again, I believe it's another GameSpot article basically saying Sony's probably got one of the strongest launch lineups in a long time. And Microsoft really just seems to kind of be going, we've got a few cool games coming out on launch titles, but we also have your smart delivery, and we also have Game Pass, and we also have this, and everybody's like, ooh, it sounds so cool. Microsoft's doing all these different things. But to me, what it seems like Microsoft is trying to distract you by kind of saying, well, here's what we want to do with all this stuff. We have not proven it'll work. We have not proven that it'll be easy. We have not. It's all this new technology and this new stuff that Microsoft's like, ooh, this is what we're going to do, and this is how it'll work. And everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. Well, again, that's what Stadia did. And Stadia is, as I keep saying, at the moment, a piece of shit. Sony's saying, you know what? We're basically going to be doing what we've always done. We're going to give you a console with better hardware. We're going to give you cool games to play. We hope you enjoy them. That's it. If anything, the most new thing that Sony's doing right now is their controller, and I really like the idea of the haptic feedback. I keep coming back to this, especially now that I know I've seen articles, like in the game Deathloop, when your gun jams in that game, your controller literally locks the triggers. I love that idea. That's really cool to me. I've been seeing stuff. Oddly enough, I've been seeing a lot of articles having to do with a lot of developers saying, "Oh, well, we love the controller. We love the controller. We love the controller." I'm sorry. This. I kind of wanted this to be a bit more of a targeted rant, but it's really kind of just spread out into my thing between Microsoft and Sony, but I think right there at the end I kind of hit on my biggest point, and that is I think Sony is kind of doing the same thing. They're making their changes gradually, trying to constantly push what we know of gaming right now and trying to get every last ounce out of it that they can. Microsoft is trying to force change to, it's trying to create this big leap in technology that's just not there yet. And I think it's going to kick Microsoft in the ass this generation. I still think that. Look, I might be wrong. I always go back to when the Switch came out, and I was saying, oh, the Switch is going to be some flash in the pan, and it actually ended up being amazing. So what the hell do I know? I'm just throwing out my opinion on it. So let's finally read this freaking article. Let's see here. In discussions of next-gen consoles, I often see the questions pop up. And I quote, why would I get an Xbox Series X if I have a good PC and Game Pass? Or, I'm fine with the Xbox One X, why would I jump to the Series X? Well, yeah, why would you? Xbox as a brand kind of doesn't care if the Game Pass subscribers with a beefy PC buys the next console. The person is already in the Xbox ecosystem, and if you're cool with your Xbox, with your One X, you're still buying games and likely subscribing to Xbox Live and / or Game Pass services as well. And see, that's something else that there's something else that, again, people constantly go, oh well, to the people who say, oh well, they lose money on the next gen hardware. Well, that's fine, but if they have to still make the next gen hardware to fill a theoretical need, especially at the start of the console generation, because for the people who want to upgrade to the next generation of hardware, they have to make all these consoles. But if they're basically saying, look, we're going to keep giving you games on the Xbox One X, you don't need to upgrade, and, we're just going to, we're not going to make you upgrade like PlayStation is doing, which I think PlayStation is doing the smarter thing. And that's just my opinion. Again, I've always said that. I think making that hard switch of, yeah, maybe it's not great if you haven't saved up and you can't immediately upgrade, but at the same time, it forces people to move on to the next generation of hardware and move on to the games, and it also lets your developers really start working with the new hardware, as opposed to this idea that Microsoft's doing, which is, well, we're going to make really good-looking Xbox One games, and we're going to make good-looking next-gen games. This console that we keep saying, oh, it's so much more powerful than the PS5. But, we're also gonna not push our games to the limit because we also want our games to be played on the One X with Game Pass and all this shit. And again, it's also with the PC ecosystem as well, touching under the why would I buy an Xbox if I already have a good PC? That element as well, and that's kind of where PlayStation is. That's another advantage in the PlayStation. In one more time, I'll try the sentence again. God damn it, I'm sweating my ass off right now. This is another advantage that PlayStation has because it doesn't have to worry about its games coming out on multiple platforms. When it's a PlayStation exclusive, it's a PlayStation exclusive. So they can get you to spend that money on that hardware. So yeah, maybe they lose money on making that PlayStation 5 that you buy. Yeah, maybe they'll lose money on the PlayStation 5. But Xbox has Xbox Series X's that are just sitting on the shelves because people just aren't upgrading. Well, they made them. They lose even more money than PlayStation, who made the console and at least sold it. Yeah, maybe they take a loss, but they at least sold it and they took less of a loss, if you understand what I'm getting at. It's like, long and short of it, Xbox is trying to do too much, and I think it's going to hurt them. There we go. Head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has made this approach quite clear over the past few years, and he most recently reiterated it on Animal Talking, the Animal Crossing New Horizon talk show hosted by Gary Whitta. On the show, Spencer said, and I quote, "How many consoles do I sell versus how many consoles does another company sell, Sony or Nintendo or the other companies back in the day? That's not our approach. If that was our approach, we wouldn't put our games on PC. We wouldn't put our games on Xbox One. We wouldn't do xCloud and allow people to play games on their phones," end quote. Does it work as well? Look at Stadia. Fuck. Sorry. Phil Spencer has been consistent and vocal with the messaging because it is the future of Xbox. Microsoft's goal isn't to get everyone to buy a specific piece of hardware. The goal is to permeate everyone's devices with gaming under the Xbox umbrella. The Xbox Series X will just be their top tier option if you want it. If not, well, there are several other ways to play Xbox games. Well, then we also run into the next issue. What the fuck games are we talking about? You know, the next Senua game, which I think... I'm trying to think back to the last Xbox event. Senua's Sacrifice 2, or whatever the hell it's called, and State of Decay 3 are about the only two that I really gave a shit about. Everything else, I barely remember what it is. Yeah, I cannot remember a lot of the other stuff. The Medium looked kind of cool. But again, this idea of putting everything under their umbrella, that's great, but you need the games to fight against... You still need games to fight against what Sony's doing, and again, I think what Sony's doing is kicking the shit out of you in terms of exclusives. But then again, then we run into the next issue of, okay, xCloud will allow you to play games on your phones. Well, okay, well, does that work? Because Stadia, again, I keep going back to Stadia. Stadia told me the same thing, and from what I've seen, it really doesn't work. You know, we wouldn't put our games on PC. Okay. Yeah, Xbox is owned by Microsoft, so not putting your games on PC is kind of a weird thing to do, I guess. I don't know. It's just... I don't know. It's just... Xbox in general has kind of always been spread thin because of the PC thing, and it's like I keep saying, they're just doing it more. They're taking a shotgun approach while Sony's taking a very precise sniper shot. And I still think Sony's is the proper way to do it. God damn it, he always looks like he's just... I don't like Phil Spencer. I don't know why he pisses me off so much. He just does. Before the Xbox Series X was even revealed, we spent some time with Spencer to get his detailed thoughts on running the Xbox brand. In our profile, he told us, quote, "The number of people that are actually buying a console every generation isn't growing dramatically, if at all." He continued, "At one point, you have to recognize that you can't just lead with one device. You can't just say, here's an Xbox, I'm going to go sell this device to every single person, and that's what they're going to play on. That just doesn't work," end quote. Isn't that what Sony did? Well, because again, what's the PS4 at right now? Like the fourth best selling video game console of all time. It's at least top 5. I want to say it's fourth. I could be wrong on that, but last I checked, Sony went out and did that, and they're kicking the shit out of you. Could it be the fact that their console is very simple to use? Their controller is better than yours? Could it be the fact that they're kicking the shit out of you in terms of exclusives? Could it be that they're beating you in marketing? Could it be that they have much more personable heads in their company? Again, yeah, I mean, there's you. I can't really name many other people who work for Xbox. I mean, at least, I got Andrew House. I got Shuhei. There's a lot of great people over at PlayStation. What the fuck? I'm going to feel really bad because I'm trying to remember. Did Andrew House leave PlayStation? Oh, well, I can't find my phone. It's sitting somewhere. I don't know. I'm getting delirious. You get what I'm saying. PlayStation went out and basically kicked the crap out of them this generation. And I love this because every time I hear... I've seen these interviews with him, and he's just like, oh, well, how many it's how many units we sell compared to the other company, that really doesn't matter. Okay, says the guy who's like I said, getting the crap kicked out of him this generation. I'm like, you sound like the parent that's like, it's going to his kid's t-ball game. We don't keep score. No, that'd make somebody, that means somebody then has to be the loser. Well, you know what, Phil Spencer, you're the fucking loser. I said it. People are not happy with me. I fucking said it. In many ways, Microsoft is letting the Xbox Series X speak for itself. Okay, by all accounts, it's a technological marvel that'll act as best possible Xbox console available when it comes out. Then sell it to me, you motherfucker! Oh my god, I'm going to have a stroke. Holy crap, does anyone else smell toast? And I quote, I want to have a great experience on the television, and I think Xbox Series X is absolutely going to deliver that, Spencer assured, as Microsoft has revealed more about the Series X technical prowess. That seems to be the case. The velocity architecture, the cooling system, quick resume. Oh, you actually including that, unlike what the Xbox One had? Because that's a big reason why I don't play my Xbox One very often. Because I can't, I can't just put it to sleep and pick back up later. Native 4K resolution, 8K, 1200. These are just all words that don't mean a lot that just don't mean a lot to me because I really don't know what a lot of them mean. I know you want to call me a scrub, whatever, but again, when we go into those deep technical shit, it's why I don't like listening to Mark Cerny on the PlayStation end. Nothing against you, Mark, you're a genius. I just don't understand what the hell you're talking about. That can even surpass what's on the market with high-end gaming PCs. That's I question that, but whatever. There's enough there to justify the existence of the Xbox Series X, but not everyone needs or wants that to play games. But shouldn't you want them to want that to play games? Because you then bring in your next generation. Oh, here comes a headache. It's here. What I'm saying is, and this is something that I mentioned earlier, if you don't like what PlayStation's doing, where they're going to have games that are specifically PS5 games. They're going to push what the PS5 can do right from the start. With the Xbox, they have to hold back what the next-gen games are going to do because they have to also run on Xbox One. They also have to be able to run on your Series X. They have to run on PC. They have to run on my goddamn phone. Jesus Christ. It's... That paragraph right there really irritates me. Mostly because, to me, it strikes me as... Well, the Xbox Series X is going to be the greatest video game console in the goddamn history of mankind. But it doesn't matter. It might not. And if it doesn't do well, that doesn't bother me. I mean, it's almost like he doesn't want to. He's trying to flex and brag without doing it. He's trying to hedge it. So if it doesn't work out, he doesn't have to have people pointing and laughing and doing the Nelson ha at him. And I quote, we want you to be able to use Game Pass across any screen you want to play on. Long-term goal, it's not about playing on any one individual, whatever. Spencer said, how many players are playing? How many games are they playing? Okay, how many friends are they're playing with? That's the approach of Xbox and getting people on board. All right, there's still more to this article. We pretty much hit the points that I wanted to cover. Look, I still think Xbox is just hedging their bets here, and they're... Sorry, I was looking over at the time. I think Xbox is just... I think they're trying to do too much. I really do. I think that's the biggest issue here, man. You know what? Just because of time reasons, I was going to go into another article that kind of talks about Sony's launch lineup and how it's probably one of the strongest in history, but I'm running low on time, and I do want to cover some video stuff, so let's just move on. Well, I just went and chugged a bottle of water, so hopefully my vision will stop being so blurry. Sorry, when I rage, I sweat even more, and then I feel like I'm going to throw up. First little video we're going to be checking out. This is a trailer for WWE 2K Battlegrounds. This was, words. Friend of the channel, Akita Touchdown. There we go. Also, by the way, go check him out. Akita Touchdown, both on Twitter. I believe he's also on YouTube under the same name. As I said, friend of the channel, asked me to take a look at this a while back, and I'm now just finally getting to it. I'm going to be entirely honest up front with WWE 2K Battlegrounds. I have very little interest in this. And the only thing that I think might save this game, in my opinion, is its roster size and the different kinds of environments that you can wrestle in. It reminds me of... Was it WWE All-Stars or whatever? It was a very similar kind of like arcadey style wrestling game that just had... I played it for about 2 days and just went, okay, I'm done with this, I'm bored. So this game just screams that to me, but again, maybe with its larger roster size, it can get some get a little more traction. All right, you know, I think God damn it, I love you, Edge. He's made his return to the WWE, hasn't he? God damn it, I really gotta get back into it now that he's back. I really like Edge. I see this game and I still just cannot help but think how incredibly one note it is. Here's your cute little chibi style wrestler guys, and you can do all these super powerful slams and all that. Ooh, look, it's all arcadey, and I'd much rather just have another WWE 2K21. Would that be the next wrestling? Like, I'd rather just have another WWE game. Hell, go back to what the WWE games used to be back in the Raw versus SmackDown era. Those had some really fun stories because they really got weird with them instead of these weird like career modes that I never thought were super good. I like the attempted story of last year's WWE game. It just ran into a few issues, mostly by the fact that game was buggy as shit. The voice acting was like, some of the voice acting was good, like it was done in studio, and then other times it was like, hey, here's like Lita, let's go, like you're walking down the street, hey, there's Lita, let's go see if we can get her to do some voiceover, and then they recorded it with a fucking phone. Well, that's what it sounded like. It was awful. And then again, it's just buggy as shit. The game was just to be able to manipulate things, especially in WWE, the universe, which honestly I think was one of the best additions during the 2K generation of these games. Just being able to set different things up, you know, like you can. I'm trying to think. You know, it would be like trying to set up a tournament. You know, like do like a King of the Ring, or be able to do like a Mae Young sort of thing in universe mode. I would have loved the ability to do that, but it wouldn't let you. Like the things it would let you do were just so limited in 2K20. Then again, just with all the bugs, where it was another issue, the messed up story and everything. I'd rather them come back and just make a good wrestling game. Instead, they're going for this like cartoonish sort of style. It's just not my thing. I get it if people are excited for it and everything. It's just not my thing. It was my thing the first time I saw one of these, and it's just still not. I'm sorry to say, it's just I have trouble getting hyped for it. Speaking of games that I am hyped for, well, I guess last game I wasn't hyped for. This is a game I am hyped for. Yakuza Like a Dragon. I am very excited for this. I am a massive fan of the Yakuza franchise. If you guys know, I need to get back into Judgment and finish that up before I play this. But I'm really excited for just a new experience within the Yakuza world. This one looks like, especially this one, where it's kind of doing this weird like turn-based style combat, where it really looks like they're like Ryu ga Gotoku is kind of. I like how it looks like they're getting away from, as much as I love Kiryu, but they're getting away from this really kind of like stoical, straight-faced character who just kind of silently struggles through everything and triumphs in the end. It really looks like our main character is going to be a lot more animated this time, and just some of the like I've seen like screenshots of this trailer, just some of the crazy shit we see here.
I'm used to coming up from the bottom.
Oh my god, English track. Okay, was he also just like a chef there? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this thing is like super just ridiculous. Like, has anybody seen like that weird summoning where he like rains down like lobsters in this game? I love that there's gonna be an English track again. I think that was probably one of the best things of Judgment, was just I didn't have to read.
Let's do this.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's get him. Easy.
Let's get fancy.
What the hell? Okay, right, because this game is kind of taking more of like a turn-based RPG. There's actually a class system in this game. I've seen bits and pieces of it. This game is one of those, like, I know I know bits and pieces of information, but mostly I'm just kind of waiting until it comes out to really experience it. But I really like how it's taking the classes, but it makes sense within not only the culture, but just the setting. Again, hosts are always something that's been big in this franchise. Wait. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. Even this is a job, or a whatever.
Your turn.
Oh, it's gonna hit him with a guitar. That's about right.
Your heart's mine.
Oh my god. I love it. I love it. I'm in. November 13th. Holy shit. I really like that box art too. I love that. Like I said, they've just said, hey, how do we step up from a franchise where you can grab a guy by the collar, pull him into a convenience store, shove him over the counter into the little microwave behind the counter, tell the guy heat this shit up, and watch him just sit and spaz out as the microwave turns on. How do we go crazier than that? This is the answer. I'm on board. Seeing as this is superheroes, I'm not going to say this is more grounded than what we just saw, but compared to what we just saw, pretty much anything can come off as grounded. So I'd say grounded in comparison. Batman Gotham Knights. Apparently this is the next game by Warner Brothers Games. We've known that they've been teasing a new game for a while. It's really been hinted at for the last, I'd say, week and a half or so, maybe more, I don't know, that it's going to be a new Batman game, and we kind of got our new, we've got our a new trailer. This came out as part of DC Fandom. My only question is this a continuation of the Arkham franchise? If anybody can give me any solid info on that, much appreciated, but...
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the city.
We're still waiting for the police to confirm if there are any victims. This story is evolving rapidly. Please bear with us.
We heard this really loud boom. There was smoke everywhere.
Emergency services have confirmed that they've discovered a body buried in the wreckage. We're still waiting for further details.
Emergency vehicles are...
It appears that a large portion of the building has actually
In
collapsed.
international news, an explosion rocked Gotham City earlier today.
We are now able to confirm that billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne is...
If you're watching this, I'm dead.
No, different voice.
This is a code black. This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died. Gotham will need its protectors more than ever. I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files. You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
All right, I like the scene. I like the concept of, Bruce Wayne dying. I mean, if you can't figure out with Gotham Knights or whatever and all the characters that we saw, it's going to be Nightwing, Robin, the Red Hood, so, all basically Robin plus 2 former Robins and Batgirl teaming up to fight crime in Gotham. I'm going to laugh if it ends up being that, we're going to find out that Batman one of two things. Batman either turned evil or this is some sort of elaborate test. I don't know. But I like the setup and I like the concept. I'm going to guess this isn't a continuation of the Arkham series for 2 reasons. 1, Batman's voice, totally different. 2, the first guy that we saw was Jason Todd. That was the Red Hood, or the former Robin, who was captured by the Joker and tortured and everything like that. His scar is completely different than what he was in Arkham Knight. Because in Arkham Knight, he had a J carved into his cheek. Mix that, the Red Hood costume was completely different because it was kind of a variation on the Arkham Knight costume. So I'm gonna guess this is not a continuation of the Arkham franchise, sadly. Oh my god, is this gonna be like... Is anyone else kind of thinking that this is gonna turn into something kind of like GTA 5? Where all the characters are gonna be out in the world at the same time and you kind of like switch on the fly? Anyone? Just me? I'm gonna guess all their combat's a little different. Him with his bow staff. I'm gonna guess she's probably gonna rely more on stealth. Yeah. Oh, cool, Tonfa. I don't know what to call his little twin sticks. Obviously, he's gonna be having his guns. Whoa, what the hell is that? Come on, to legends. To legends. Say it. Damn it. All right, for the love of God, if you have Mr. Freeze, can you get Arnold Schwarzenegger? Can you call up Arnie? Can you get him to voice him? Because as ridiculous as that Batman and Robin movie was, I still love his Mr. Freeze. It's absolutely ridiculous and it's so fun. I don't know. I'm getting vibes of when I think it was Nightwing and Batgirl. You were seeing them kind of like walking that like what looked like an old temple or something. I have a feeling that the Lazarus Pits and something's gonna be involved there. Maybe Ra's al Ghul stuff. I gotta say, I kind of like what we're seeing here because it kind of looks like Arkham, but a little different. And plus Warner Brothers. I mean, I with the Batman series. I mean, I gotta hand it to them. I think they made 3 pretty good games. So, I mean, they have my attention, shall we say.
No one talks about them. Not a whisper word is said. For if you try to crush them, then the town strikes you dead.
I believe those are the Court of Owls. I could be wrong on that. I don't know my Batman lore that strong. I really don't know a lot of, if anything, about the Court of Owls. I've heard cool things about them. Ooh, looks like there's actually some stuff explained. I'll maybe go check that out on IGN. honestly, I really do like what we saw there. Looked really cool. I think it has every opportunity to be something pretty good. God damn it. Looking at the time, I don't have time to cover the next game. It was going to be that Wukong game from, I think it's coming out of China. That looked really interesting. It looked like a neat little action game. I'll probably put that gameplay on next week's show. It's just like I said, I've gotta go. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry that I'm kind of rushing the ending here. Hope you like the kind of return of the show. We will be back on Sunday with another episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your patience. I love you all that stuff. Until next time, social media in the description. Like, comment, not already, please subscribe to the channel. And until then, my name's AJ Gels. This is Something Game Channel. I'm out.